We are currently in Dumbo. We came over here to go to Photoville. Photoville is a modular event in New York City. It's a photo exhibit, so it features a lot of different photographers' work in these shipping container galleries. It's been going on for about a week now. So we took the train over here to Dumbo to check it out and look at these photographers' work. One thing I wanted to say is thank you guys for watching these videos, and for those of you who have been sharing them with your friends and liking them. We really appreciate that you guys have been doing that, and we make these videos really for ourselves because we like doing it, but it's always nice to know that some of you guys like them and actually watch and like them enough to share with your friends. So I just want to thank you guys for doing that and following along our journey as we are exploring New York City in this time of our lives. So yeah, let's go check it out.
I don't even think I'm in my league here, but I'm so hypnotized by these feelings.
So we just borrowed a Leica for an hour and a half. So let's switch over to Leica and see what the difference is. Alright, so we switched over to the Leica TL2 from the Sony RX100. Mark 5. So how's it look? Sound better? Look better? Better look better. It's $1,000 more. It has a 11 to 23 millimeter lens on it. It's a f3.5 lens, so that's what we're at right now.
Is it heavier?
It is much heavier. I don't know if you can tell that it is, I can see it shaking, so I don't know if you can tell that it's shaking, because there is stabilization on it whenever you're at 1080p, but it can go up to 4K. So yeah, let's run some B-roll on this thing. Container is for Ordinary Magazine, which is really cool. Ordinary Magazine is like a quarterly photo magazine, but every single issue they task the photographers to incorporate an ordinary object, and they include that object with the magazine as an extra to make the magazine extraordinary. Okay, so both the Leica and the Sony are on full auto mode and standing in the exact same spot. So here's the Leica and here's the Sony. I'm guessing the Sony is doing way better because Sony does incredible in low light, and Leica is, I think, kind of notoriously bad at low light. So there's a low light test for you. I just stopped focusing. I just turned it off, turned it back on. It looks like it might be working now.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working now. Just like anything else. If all else fails, turn it off, turn it back on.
Show up when your life's too rough. If you wanna have me there, I know I'm like a walk in space. No matter how you talk with me, you never know what's up. I don't even think I'm in my league here.
Okay, you guys, if you are watching this on Friday and are in the New York City area, I would absolutely recommend that you come check out Photoville in Dumbo. The photography is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, top notch.
Like stuff that I aspire to be able to take, and so much of it. It's really hard to take it all in one setting. I may actually come back some other point during the weekend so I can take more time to look at some of these. Some of them are just beautiful photography. Others are like amazing photojournalism, or things that are capturing like poverty or climate change, wars, things like that. That is all incredible the way that they captured those moments. But then others are just capturing humans in a way that is so
Really great stories.
yeah, just capturing people's stories in an image that's such a cliche to hear, but to actually see it in real life is, yeah, it's inspiring. Also, what do you guys think of this Leica? Is it good? To me so far, I mean, things that I don't like about it are, one, it doesn't have an articulating screen, so I can't actually see if I'm in focus or anything like that. Two, it kind of seems like whenever I'm looking at the screen, seems like the focus is really trying hard to keep that continuous autofocus, which is probably annoying to watch, seeing the corners kind of fluctuate. But other than that, I haven't really reviewed any of the footage since I'm just now shooting on it. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments how it sounds compared to the Sony and how the pictures look. I'm sure the image is much more crisp, and because this lens is so much better than the Sony is. But overall, let me know your thoughts. So at Photoville, Leica actually lets you loan out any Leica you want for an hour and a half, and you don't have to actually keep it within Photoville. Like, you can go wherever you want. They said you can take it wherever you want within an hour and a half. So you could literally hop on a train, go wherever you want, and then come back. As long as you're back in an hour and a half, you can take it wherever.
That's kind of awesome.
Let's, while we're in here, let's snap some photos and see what it looks like.
I'm so hypnotized by these feelings.
I'm gonna put it into slow-mo mode and see what that looks like. So not having an articulated screen is really difficult because I just recorded this whole bit with it zoomed in all the way and I didn't realize it. One thing about the slow-mo mode is that there's no audio in slow-mo mode, and so whenever you're shooting slow-mo, you can't just shoot in a high frame rate and then just slow the pieces down that you want. You have to actually be shooting for slow-mo, which that's a little annoying. Another thing is there's no mic input on this camera. It's a $2,000 camera and there's no mic input. You have to use the internal mic, which the Sony RX100, it also doesn't have a mic input, but it's also a $1,000 camera versus this is a $2,000 camera plus the lens. Just the body itself is $2,000. So you'd think when you're spending probably close to $3,000 that you would have a mic input, but you don't.
I mean, obviously sound is important, and a lot of people believe that no matter what, you should have a mic input, but I think our Sony does really great without one. But if you're paying $2,000 for a body, feels like it should have everything that you would ever possibly need.
It is very heavy, and I'm resting my arm right now on my knee because it's so heavy to hold this thing up. And
I don't know how people vlog with DSLRs.
yeah, it's probably the same weight, honestly, as like a 80D or something like that. But man, I would have to do some push-ups or something.
Yeah, I don't know how people do it.
I mean, one thing that I noticed just looking at the screen on the back is it looks like it is very over-sharpened. I'm interested to see if it's going to look like that on playback on the computer. If you see the over-sharpening in the video, let me know, because it definitely, when I'm actually looking at the screen, it looks like it's some software feature that is over-sharpening it, and I looked through the settings and I didn't see anything that would allow me to change the sharpness, but I've only been holding this camera for less than an hour, so there might be something in there, but I looked through it and didn't see anything. Another thing that I don't know is what resolution it is recording in slow-mo mode. It doesn't actually say if it drops down to 720 or if it's doing it in 1080, so I guess we'll have to see that once we actually get this footage onto a computer. Another thing of note that may be a setting thing, I don't know, but as of right now, I have not been able to figure out how to actually change settings while recording. So once I start recording the video, the dials, nothing works, which is really annoying because, you know, lighting changes, and if I'm already recording, I have to stop recording, change the settings, start recording again if you want to record in any sort of manual mode. So that's really annoying. All right, we're walking to Leica to return this camera because we only have about 10 minutes left with it, if that. So until I actually see this footage, I don't have any more real thoughts on it, other than I do really like having a nice lens on a camera that I'm carrying around. That's nice. And then mostly, I really like having a lens this wide. We're at 11 millimeters right now, and it makes vlogging, I think, look so much better. But I don't necessarily think I would buy this camera for vlogging personally. It's definitely been fun to mess with it. This is actually the first Leica that I've actually ever used myself. So I do want to use the M and take some photos, but we chose to do this for the video capabilities. So we're walking back to Leica to turn it back in, and we'll see how it looks when we get home. Okay, we're back on the Sony RX100v, and the first thing I'll say is, holy cow, this thing is so much lighter than the Leica. Obviously the image quality on the Leica is better, I'm sure you can see it, but for an everyday carry and something that you're holding up and like carrying around, I will take the image quality loss for something like this, just because of how small and compact it is.
It's so small. You can put it in your back pocket and carry it around, like it's so small. But I think, I mean, obviously I know the image quality is less, but it's not bad, you know, like, I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know. You compromise on a few things, but I think that they're only half compromises compared to the benefits that it gives you.
The only thing that would really step up the Sony RX100 and be like the ultimate vlogging camera would be if it had a mic input. If they put a mic input on this camera, like game changer. And that's why that Leica TL2 didn't even tempt me, because with no mic input, the extra weight and the image quality, just not even worth it at all. But it was fun to play with, but definitely didn't tempt me at all to save up a couple $1,000s for it. Okay, I'm back at the apartment. I'm actually filming this part on my Canon 6D just to throw a third camera in there to show you what this looks like. It's basically impossible to vlog on this camera because there is no continuous autofocus and no articulating screen to know if I am recording or if I'm in focus or anything like that, and it doesn't autofocus while I'm on video. So, but just wanted to throw that in there. Actually, I had to have Sarah help me set this up and stand here and let me get it focused, and it's almost impossible to film with this camera by yourself. Also, this is my third time recording this because the camera has stopped recording automatically without me knowing, and there's no lights or anything on the front to actually let me know that it's recording. So, definitely want to recommend the Canon 6D Mark I for videoing yourself. It's great for video, just not for video by yourself or vlogging. I didn't set out today intending to make a video on the Leica TL2, but we showed up to Photoville and Leica was handing out cameras, so I was like, hey, why not? So I hope you enjoyed this kind of first reaction video because I had never even heard of the TL2 and definitely hadn't held one or used one before. So there's probably more in-depth reviews and more articulate videos on that camera if it's something you're looking at, but I just, since I had it in hand, I thought I would share my thoughts and my opinions as I formed them. So that's it for that. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If this is your first time on my channel, I do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mostly doing vlogs with Sarah exploring New York City. I also do tech reviews and tutorials, things like that on occasion. So if that's what you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Monday.